From 1998 to 2023, Christopher Nolan's popularity as a filmmaker is growing on a different tangent, and the sky is the limit for the god of cinema. In 25 years from following to now Oppenheimer, Nolan's work has never seen downside. His filmmaking style has been consistent and it is getting more explosive, if you know what I mean. What's up people, I'm Parth and in this video I am going to rank Christopher Nolan's top 5 films of all time. Let's start with number 5. Throughout Nolan's career he has played with many different concepts for his film and almost all of them are intellectual for different reasons and purpose. He loves to craft stories that transcend through multiple timelines and due to that, the structure isn't always conventional and that forces us as a viewer to connect the dots and I freaking love that. And because of that, The Prestige is on number 5. That film stands out just for its cast alone. You have Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman and Scarlett Johansson leading the charge, taking us on a magical journey that involves elements of science fiction. The use of diary to connect and show different timelines was a storytelling masterstroke. And the twist at the end to cap off what perhaps can be counted as one of the greatest ending to a Nolan film at that time. Moving on to number 4. We've all seen some great World War II films and there are many that stands out, but Dunkirk is something that can never be replicated just because of how authentic it truly is. It is the highest grossing World War II film of all time. Once again, Nolan crafted a narrative that engages you in deep and never let go because of the gripping environment he has created on screen. Every 5 minutes something is happening and the stakes get higher and higher. The use of minimal dialogues elevates his storytelling and it shows Nolan's prowess to evoke emotions without uttering much words. What makes Dunkirk special is that you have 3 different variations of the story. That's something that you rarely see. With its astounding sound design and epic cinematography, Nolan received his first Oscar nomination for Best Director for Dunkirk. And that's enough of a reason why it's on number 4. Let's go to number 3. Okay, so this might be a little controversial, but The Dark Knight is number 3 on my list. I know people consider this as one of the greatest superhero films of all time and I agree with that. But when I take Nolan's entire filmography into account, I think The Dark Knight fits perfectly on number 3. Nolan made Batman enigmatic and Bruce a little complex at the same time. And that's what makes for a great cinema experience. Because even if they are both the same person, they are actually not. It is 2 different personalities. And Nolan's showcase of how both personalities affect one another is simply marvelous. And Nolan isn't the only one who deserves credit for that. Because Christian Bale was fantastic. Bale's casting was fantastic. I mean, you can't find someone who can match his work ethic and his dedication. Nolan and Bale created Batman just as how he should be portrayed. Gritty, mysterious, and a little bit empathetic. The hero of Gotham City had to face his toughest challenge yet, the Joker. The widely popular Heath Ledger's performance as Joker earned him an Oscar. In a nutshell, Joker forcing Batman to make certain decisions to save his city was so captivating with Hans Zimmer's diabolical score that made this film a piece of art. And now we are down to number 2. The epic space adventure where Nolan showed us how a film about space can also be about human connection, loss, fight for survival, and sacrifice. Interstellar is Chris Nolan's magnum opus and no one can deny that. Interstellar is one of my favorite films of all time. I was stunned by the visuals and the sound design. Hans Zimmer's score in this film elevated each scene to greater heights. Whether it is the cornfield chase, or dust, or mountain, or no time for caution, or stay, it just captures you in the moment. You get invested deep into the characters because they are so relatable. Whether it is the young Murphy who didn't want his father to leave, or whether his father watching her one and only message for the first time when years have gone by. We've all experienced something similar like that at least once in our lives. It is magical throughout and you can't get enough of it. Every actor played their part to perfection, especially Matt Damon who portrayed Dr. Mann. His motives were written with perfection and he displayed that brilliantly on the screen. The way Christopher Nolan captured emotions in this film is something that I had never seen before up until that point. Overall, Interstellar deserves every bit of praise and if Nolan hadn't come out with Oppenheimer, this would have been first on my list. Oh, did I give it away? I think I did. On number 1, it is the latest outing, Oppenheimer. What can I say about this? It is perfect. While it is evident that Oppenheimer is not for everybody, but for those who love longer films which are driven by the decision and the choices of characters, it is outstanding in that aspect. Matt Damon, who is part of this film, said in an interview that Oppenheimer was built around Cillian Murphy. It is downright true, because when you see the film, you can clearly see that Cillian carried the entire film on his shoulder, and he was helped by amazing and star-studded cast. Nolan presented this film in two forms. The black and white portion was from Robert Downey Jr.'s Louis's point of view, and the color portion was from Oppenheimer's perspective, in the manner of objective and subjective respectively. That shows how intelligent Nolan truly is when it comes to delivering strong narrative about true events that's important and untold in our course of history. Oppenheimer is a film that heavily relies on one man's journey from distinction to extinction. Nolan's precise filmmaking made this my favorite Christopher Nolan film of all time, because in this, just like Interstellar, Inception and Dunkirk, he created some moments that embody certain emotions that were evoked with the help of nerve-wracking score that pictured some amazing dramatic moments which I will remember for the rest of my life. And that's why Oppenheimer is number one on my list. On that note, let's wrap this up. Christopher Nolan has been very influential when it comes to my career as a filmmaker, and my journey has just begun. I have a lot to prove, so I would like for you all to join me on my journey as I grow and learn. Share this video as much as you can with your cinephile friends, and let me know your top 5 Christopher Nolan films down in the comments below. Thank you once again. Peace out.